So Jimmy Kimmel was doing it. He was doing it too.
Yeah, he was doing it too.
Yeah. No, he was being accused of joking about it too.
So they were upset at him, even though he was attacking the appropriate person. He was doing it in a manner which is also construed as being transphobic. Like they were saying that his tweet is transphobic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, he used to host the Man Show. I mean, he's done some pretty outrageous shit back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, for he's and haws.
No, that's a good joke on top of a good joke.
Yeah, it's a good joke. Funny thing to say. He's had a real problem with Elon from the beginning of this thing, but it's like he's in this leftist thought bubble. He is in the most leftist thought bubble available, which is Hollywood.
Joe Rogan just torched Jimmy Kimmel after his latest meltdown. Kimmel took a cheap shot at MAGA, and Rogan fired back hard, accusing him of turning late-night comedy into a left-wing soapbox. No soft jabs here. Rogan's takedown was brutal, direct, and absolutely scorching.
That sort of self-censorship and the idea of being a more empathetic person is a good thing, right? But as long as it's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, the problem with that kind of stuff is it continues to go in the same direction where more and more things become forbidden and toxic, to the point where, you know, the Elon Musk joking around about my pronouns are prosecute Fauci. Jimmy Kimmel made a tweet back to him. He said, your pronouns are ass and hole.
Kimmel suddenly found himself under fire for joking about pronouns. The same. Woke Patrol. He caters to came after him. Rogan called out the hypocrisy, saying it's not just ironic, it's the real problem. And honestly, he's got a point.
Which is pretty funny. But then
Did he really?
Yes. And so then I read that, and there was people saying, please don't joke about pronouns. It's transphobic to joke about pronouns. So they were chiding him for participating in a joke about pronouns.
You can't preach a cause and then mock it when it's convenient, especially if you're its poster boy. Everyone knew the bit was aimed at Elon Musk, but Kimmel had plenty of other ways to land the joke. Instead, he took aim at the very thing he claims to stand for. Anyway, roll the tape.
He was doing it too.
Yeah, he was doing it too.
Yeah. No, he was being accused of joking about it too.
So they were upset at him, even though he was attacking the appropriate person. He was doing it in a manner which is also construed as being transphobic. Like they were saying that his tweet is transphobic.
Do you think that was, in that case, do you think that's him or a writer? Can't you tell?
Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah.
No, it's him, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
good. That's a good one.
He's a comic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, he used to host the Man Show. I mean, he's done some pretty outrageous back in the day.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel used to co-host The Man Show, a bold, no-limits comedy that took jabs at everyone and everything. Back then, he wasn't pushing politics, just chasing laughs. The show's raw, unfiltered humor made him a hit and landed him his own late-night gig on ABC. But here's the twist. The old Kimmel wouldn't even recognize today's version, more tied to politics than punchlines.
He's had a real problem with Elon from the beginning of this thing, but it's like he's in this leftist thought bubble. He is in the most leftist thought bubble available, which is Hollywood. And, you know, and I think also, you know, he famously, there's some videos of him in blackface, and those came out, and he had to apologize for them. And I think he took that hit and like really doubled down the other direction. I mean, that's just speculation. But he, you know, now is a guy that goes after people like Elon Musk.
I'm with Rogan on this one. Jimmy Kimmel's late night show has turned into a megaphone for progressive causes, vaccines, gender politics, and even the push for biological men in women's sports. He's traded punchlines for political preaching, turning comedy into activism in a suit. The result? The fans who once tuned in for laughs now get lectures instead.
He's willing to put people on with uncomfortable opinions, and he's releasing people that were banned from Twitter because of things that they had said. He's like, as long as you haven't done anything illegal, I'll let you back on.
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing a lot of that. So it's a lot of people are upset by that because then they think, you know, well, you're platforming bigots and hateful people, and it's a weird conversation.
And that's the glaring double standard of the left. Not long ago, they were cheering as voices got silenced, censored, and canceled, with Jimmy Kimmel leading the charge. He mocked Elon Musk for defending free speech and tossed out insults like confetti. But now, when the tables turn, Kimmel and his crew suddenly want to play defenders of open expression. Please. The same people who punish dissent now cry foul when it hits them back. Rogan isn't fooled. He calls it exactly what it is: hypocrisy dressed up as virtue.
I'm a free speech believer. I think the way to counter someone's inappropriate, even someone like Kanye West that says ridiculous shit, anti-Semitic things, the way to counter that is to counter that with more thoughtful opinions on what he's saying and point out that what he's saying is inaccurate in many ways, hurtful in many ways. Like, point it out. Like, talk. Let's have discussion. Don't silence the guy.
Now Kimmel's choking on the same censorship he once cheered. Back when cancel culture was booming, he was front and center, mocking and silencing anyone who strayed from the progressive script. Instead of defending free speech for all, he joined the mob. But now the tide's turned, and he's feeling the backlash from the very culture he helped create. If he defended open expression then, he wouldn't be trapped now. Rogan summed it up perfectly. You can't muzzle others for years, and then act like the victim when the blowback hits.
Are you chilled? Are you in fear for the future of comedy and free speech?
Well, Will, first of all, I woke up this morning to the incredible shock that apparently TV shows are not guaranteed in our Constitution. I mean, wow. So that was tough to swallow.
First, I'm still waiting for the left, the so-called champions of free speech, to get outraged over Roseanne being fired for speaking her mind. Second, I've been waiting even longer for liberals, especially Democrats on Capitol Hill, to address what the Twitter files exposed, that the Biden-Harris administration used government pressure to influence Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and especially Twitter to censor everyday Americans. Government-backed censorship. That's not democracy, that's control.
First. Second, I'm still waiting for the left, the liberals, to get outraged about Roseanne getting fired for her free speech. And then I'm also waiting, I've been waiting a long time for the left and the Democrats, especially the Democrats on Capitol Hill, for the Twitter files that released that the Biden-Harris administration was actually using the government to pressure Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and especially Twitter to actually censor actual Americans through government pressure.
Well, sorry to disappoint, but you'll be waiting forever if you expect the left to condemn the Biden-Harris administration for leaning on ABC to boot Roseanne Barr. Accountability? Nowhere in sight. They brushed it off like it never happened, dodging the obvious political interference. And ABC wasn't the only target. The Biden team also pressured major social media giants to suppress dissent and rebrand censorship as safety. Back then, the left cheered it on like some heroic mission. But now, suddenly, they're playing the victims and pretending to be defenders of free dialogue. The hypocrisy is staggering. When they silence others, it's justice. When the blowback hits them, it's tyranny. Rogan nailed it. You don't get it both ways.
Capitalist pressure is really important because what happens is you have to make money or you have to do something of value so that you can get something in return. Now, the interesting thing is it's false advertising because honestly, look, Jimmy Kimmel can be funny, and I don't mean to take anything away from that. But the fact of the matter, can you remember a political joke that went viral, what was something really funny of his? There was no attempt in humor at all in what he said. And as a matter of fact, it was a lie. Now, as you pointed to, Will, since the 1960s, you have to get a license to broadcast. This isn't Netflix, this isn't cable, this is broadcast TV.
Kimmel's ratings tanked, and advertisers started sweating bullets. Their money wasn't paying off. and some even threatened to pull out of ABC altogether. In TV, ads are oxygen, and Kimmel was running out of air. His biggest mistake? Smearing the MAGA crowd, nearly half the country. That's not edgy. That's self-sabotage. By turning late night into a political pulpit, he didn't just lose laughs. He lost viewers, sponsors, and ABC's confidence.
And when you have broadcast TV, you have to, the airwaves are owned by the public. And to get that license, you have to be in the interest, like you said, of the public. And so that's why when there's a news van parked in the white zone, they don't get a ticket, because they are there to present news to inform the public in the public interest. So what happens is 25% originally was supposed to be the news to inform it, just to get that license. So when you absolutely lie to the public, then you are no longer in the public interest, like Jimmy Kimmel did the other night. Right. Mislead and lie, and actually was something dangerous. So with the FCC chairman, he didn't say that he was going to pull the license. He was going to give them a warning and ask for an apology, what I understood on the Benny Johnson show. And so that's not the government doing it.
Jimmy Kimmel has only himself to blame. He turned a stage built for laughs into a weapon against MAGA. And that wasn't comedy, it was politics. Instead of entertaining millions, he used late night as a soapbox for his own agenda. Viewers didn't sign up for propaganda. They wanted humor. By chasing vendettas instead of value, Kimmel alienated half the country and destroyed his own credibility. His downfall wasn't bad luck. It was the cost of choosing politics over punchlines.
When 246 different stations around the country say we're no longer airing this, it's because they heard from their consumers. They heard from their customers. And they said, that's it. We're not doing it. And so Nexstar, who's a great guy over there, Sean Compton, said, that's it. He's the CEO, and said, when we have complaints like this, and none of the channels, 246, because I'm sorry, it's not just LA and New York. There are people in between who have a real sense of decency and who realize that what you had here was you had someone who wanted to have conversations and debate.
Here's the wild part. All 246 TV stations agreed that Jimmy Kimmel's remarks crossed the line. Total unanimity, which almost never happens in broadcasting. These are networks that live and die by audience trust, and they knew the public's reaction instantly. Yet a few woke outlets are still trying to spin it, defending the indefensible. Are we really supposed to believe 246 stations got it wrong? Please. The verdict's clear. Kimmel's comments were distasteful, damaging, and way out of bounds.